Puersa. I have posted an attendance link to the Google G Meet chat box. However, later pa yun sasagutan post Salib Puersa. Alright? So once again, welcome to Salib Puersa, wherein I will be reviewing you guys for the final exam. However, I want to remind everyone that our final exam is cover to cover. Okay? Pero itong Salib Puersa natin is yung finals na part lang. Okay? Yung part ng prelim and midterm, kayo na bahala mag-review. Okay? Kasi we only have an hour, hindi natin yan kayang i-cover kung talagang pati cover to cover, i-reviewin pa natin. Okay? So, for the finals part, the coverage will be activities 10 to 15. Right? So, from bleeding, clotting, glucose, and urine testing. Kaya mong text ako. Alright? So, again, we'll be talking about bleeding time, okay, wherein we are going to briefly talk about primary hemostasis, okay, the function of our platelets and capillaries, okay. We will also be talking about coagulation time, wherein si secondary hemostasis naman, wherein we're talking about the function of fibrin and clotting factors, okay. Also, the point of care testing of glucometer. Pag sinabing point of care testing, this is the rapid assessment. Okay, bedside siya ginagawa. Okay, so rapid glucose assessment near the patient. Okay, urine collection. Okay, we're going to be talking about specimen integrity. Okay, because this is important before the testing even begins. Okay, and of course, our urine reagent strip. Okay, we're going to be talking about the first and second part of urinalysis, which is the macro and chemical analysis, or physical and chemical analysis of our urine. Okay. So let's talk about activity number 10, which is the bleeding time determination. Okay. So what this measures is that the time required for the bleeding to stop after a skin puncture. Okay? So, ang ina-assess, laging tatandaan, ang ina-assess ni bleeding time is primary hemostasis. Okay? Kung ano yung mga problema sa primary hemostasis. Okay? So, kapag prolonged ang bleeding time mo or shortened yung bleeding time mo, there is a problem with your primary hemostasis. Okay? So, this reflects platelet function and capillary integrity. Okay? So, ang endpoint nito is that kapag nag-stop na yung bleeding, okay? Kapag hindi na siya dumudugo after tusukan. Okay? So, ayan. The sequence of primary hemostasis kasi is that, ayan. So, yung vascular injury, pag sinabing vascular injury, okay? Kung injury sa ating any puncture or any injury, okay, may it be internal or external, but in this test, okay, the Duke's method of bleeding time, in this method, tayo ay gumagamit ng needle, okay, to puncture the skin, okay. So what it does is that, the primary hemostasis, what it does is that, the vascular injury triggers vasoconstriction. Pag sinabing vasoconstriction, nagko-constrict, okay, pinaliliit niya, okay, pinaliliit niya. Pag sinabing vasodilation, pinalalawak, okay. So, ang ginagawa ng primary hemostasis, again, para nga mag-stop yung bleeding, kasi na-imagine niyo ba yung mga platelets sa, anong anime yun? Kung ano man yung anime na yun. So, na-imagine nyo nagpapanik na sila, okay? So, nagko-constrict, pinapa-constrict yun para mag-stop yung bleeding, okay? So, it doesn't, the vasoconstriction alone doesn't necessarily stop, but it helps, okay? That's one factor, okay? Now, after that, platelets adhere to the exposed vessel wall, okay? Kagaya dito, ayan. So, yung mga kulay brown na yan, okay, ito yung mga kulay brown na ito yan si platelet, okay, itong letter V na ito, yan yung vascular injury, okay, so imagine nyo yung tinusok niya with a needle, and then this one is your red blood cells. Sila yung mga kumakawala dito sa vascular injury. Okay, kapag meron kayong sugat. Okay? So now, second part is that this platelet adhere to the exposed vessel wall. Okay, so this is your vessel wall. Okay. Now, platelets, after the platelets adhere, they aggregate. Okay? They aggregate to form a temporary plug. Okay? Pag sinabing temporary plug, as the word itself, temporary lang siya. Kasi, okay, kailangan ng tulong ng secondary hemostasis para ma-stabilize yan. Okay? So, ayan, bleeding time ends when the plug stops the blood flow. Okay? So, this is why bleeding time is an assessment of the primary hemostasis kasi dito na siya natatapos. Okay, after nyan, mag-activate na si secondary hemostasis. Okay. But for the Duke's method, okay, so, yung ginawa natin, so, the correct procedure is that, of course, number one, aseptic technique. Okay, dapat linisin siya, tapos, iintayin siyang mag-air dry. Bakit? Pagka kasi tinusok mo siya ng basa pa ng alcohol, the alcohol will contribute to shorten the bleeding time. Okay? Kasi alcohol yun, nakakabuo talaga siya ng dugo. Okay? So, magiging falsely shortened yung inyong bleeding time. So, it's important that you air dry. So, second is you puncture with a sterile lancet. Okay, and then you blot every 30 seconds. Again, yung timer is gagamitin para cue mo to blot na. Okay, hindi mo gagamitin yung timer to time kung kailan siya tumigil. Okay, gagamitin mo lang yun every after 30 seconds. So, ang reporting ng ating bleeding time is every after 30 seconds. Kung nag-stop siya at the 2-minute mark, okay, it's 2 minutes. Kung nag-stop siya at the 2-minute and 30-second mark, okay, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, hindi tayo nagre-report na, okay, kasi nag-stop siya 2 minutes and 45 seconds, ma'am. O, hindi nakikinig. Kasi sabi, every 30 seconds, dapat, check kung nag-stop na ba o hindi. So, you're only blotting every 30 seconds. That's why the reporting is with increments of 30 seconds only. Okay? So, stop the timer when the bleeding stops and apply pressure and record result. Kasi even if nag-stop na temporarily, okay, again, baka hindi pa stabilized yung platelet plug doon, baka nag-activate pa din yung secondary hemostasis. So, kahit pag tumigil na yung pagdudugo, ipa-apply pa rin ng pressure kay patient para mag-stop talaga yung bleeding totally. Okay? So, common errors includes squeezing the site. Okay? Yan ang hindi natin ginagawa. Okay? Marami sa inyo nahirapan sa capillary puncture kahapon dahil kulang ang technique sa squeezing or milking. Okay, dito naman sa bleeding time, you never squeeze. Okay, you never squeeze. Dapat hayaan lang yung sugat na maghilom. Okay, at hindi pinipindot-pindot. Okay, kasi pag pinipindot-pindot mo siya, it will prolong. Okay, it will falsely prolong your bleeding time. Okay, so touching the wound with the filter paper. Ayan, dapat hindi tinatouch yung pinakasugat, okay? Pinakasugat. Dapat yung dugo lang yung kinukuha ninyo doon sa filter paper, okay? Puncture too shallow or too deep, okay? Time started late and aspirin intake may prolong result, okay? So, blood thinner kasi itong si aspirin. So, before, okay, ito standard protocol talaga ito sa laboratory. Ito kasi yung CTBT is mostly paired with PT-PTT, which is a coagulation study in hematology. Okay? Protocol ito sa laboratory na kapag may test si patient ng CTBT or PT-PTT or combined, laging tinatanong kung protocol na tanongin si patient kung siya ba ay nagtitake ng blood thinners. Okay? So, ayan. Ma'am, sir, meron po ba kayong blood thinners? Kasi kailangan yung ilista. Okay? Kung si patient ba ay nag-aspirin, kung si patient ba ay nagwa-warfarin therapy, okay? So at this level, sa first year pa lang naman kayo, hindi naman na namin kayo, okay, gigisahin doon sa mga blood thinners. Pero pagdating nyo ng third year, mas makikilala ninyo yung mga blood thinners pa. So dapat alam nyo na yan pagdating nyo ng third year ninyo. So, okay? So for long BT, suggest platelet, or capillary problems such as thrombocytopenia. Pag sinabing thrombocytopenia, low platelet. Okay, thrombocyte means platelet, penia means low in blood. Okay, so thrombocytopenia means low platelet. Okay, so platelet dysfunction. Okay, so may iba-iba kasing function yung platelet. Yan, kagaya kanina, di ba, merong adhesion, may aggregation. Okay, so kapag may problem doon sa parte ng function ng platelet na yan, okay, there is a problem with your primary hemostasis, hence, magre-reflect ito sa ating bleeding time. Okay, or von Willebrand disease. Okay, von Willebrand disease, or yung ating factor 8, okay, sa third year na natin siya itakaw. Okay, basta laging tandaan, okay, kapag prolonged CBT, ano kaya yung mga pwedeng problema kapag prolonged yung PT? Okay, so tandaan nyo si thrombocytopenia or low platelet, platelet dysfunction, or von Willebrand disease. Okay, so again, kagaya ng sabi ko kanina, after ni primary hemostasis, si secondary hemostasis naman. Okay, so ito na tayo let's talk about coagulation time. Okay, so CT, BP. Okay, kanina BP, ngayon naman CT. Okay, so si coagulation time naman, okay, in vitro na siya. Okay, in vivo, pag sinabi in vivo, inside the body. Pag sinabi in vitro, outside the body. Okay. Pag sinabi in vivo, si bleeding lang. In vitro naman si CT. Okay, si coagulation time. Okay, so this is the time required for the blood to clot outside the body. Okay, so this assesses the secondary hemostasis. It reflects the clotting factor activity. Okay, so endpoint, fibrin thread or clot formation. Okay, so kapag kine-check mo siya sa slide, okay, tapos every 30 seconds din ito kagaya ni BT, okay, so check natin yung fibrin, okay, once the fibrin thread has been formed, okay, so we stop the time, okay, okay, so, ayan, glass contact activates clotting, fibrin formation confirms the clotting, okay. So the principle is that fresh blood is placed on a clean slide. Okay, contact with glass activates the intrinsic pathway. Okay, so fibrin strands develop as clot forms. Then the observed clotting time is recorded. Okay, so we're not going to be into details kung sino si intrinsic and extrinsic pathway. Kasi pang third year naman na yan. Okay, basta tandaan nyo na lang na contact glass activates the intrinsic pathway. Pero hayaan nyo, magiging mag-best friend kayo niya ni intrinsic at extrinsic pathway pagdating nyo ng third year. Okay, so the basic procedure is that, ayan, we puncture the finger. Okay, again, pag hustler na kayo, okay, pwedeng pagsabayan si CT at PT. Okay, pero sa level ninyo, hindi pa namin pinagawa kasi nga, baka malito pa kayo. Okay, pero sa practice, usually isang tusok, okay, isang CT, isang BP, sabay nang ginagawa. Okay, so what we're going to do is to puncture the finger. Okay, place a drop on a slide, start the timer. Okay, tilt or test every 30 seconds and observe for fibrin clot. Okay, pwedeng i-tilt or pwedeng haluin na sa edges ng konti, tapos iangat gamit yung needle or yung lancet na pinangtusok natin. Okay? So, ayan. The difference, okay? Let us familiarize ourselves with the difference kasi lalabas na sa exam, okay? Again, si bleeding time is primary hemostasis, si coagulation time is secondary hemostasis, okay? Si bleeding time is platelet and capillary integrity, okay? Kung gaano katibay, okay, yung inyong vascular wall, okay? At kung gaano kabilis mag-form, mag-adhere, at mag-aggregate si platelet doon sa site of the injury. Okay? Si coagulation time naman, ayan, clotting factors and fibrin. Okay? Si fibrin kasi is kailangan yan, kumbaga, imagine niyo para siyang net, okay? Para siyang, alam mo yung fishing net na nagko-cover doon sa platelet aggregate to stabilize the clot. Okay? Para, yun na yung nagpo-form ng scab. Nakikita nyo kapag nasusugatan kayo minsan, di ba? Para siyang may scab na ang hiling yung tinutuklap. Okay? Ang hiling yung tinukutkot. Okay? So, sabi ng fibrin cut, am I a joke to you? Kasi, nag-form na nga siya ng fibrin, tinutuklap, kaya nagdudugo ulit. Okay, so gagawa na naman siya ng panibago. Okay, so, ayan, bleeding time, ang endpoint nito is pag nag-stop yung bleeding. Again, dapat hindi influence ng alcohol, dapat hindi influence ng squeezing, at dapat hindi na-touch ng filter paper yung pinakasugat or yung wound. Okay, nag-stop lang siya. Okay, si coagulation time naman, okay, so ang endpoint niya kapag nag-form na yung fibrin thread. Okay, so sa bleeding time, kapag prolonged, mayroong platelet dysfunction or von Willebrand disease or thrombocytopenia. Okay? Sa coagulation time naman, pag prolonged, ayan, maaaring meron siyang hemophilia or factor deficiency. Kaya hindi talaga nag-perform ng clot. Okay? So, hemophilia usually affects coagulation time more than bleeding time kasi nandun nga yung mga factor deficiencies. Pag hemophilia ka kasi, most likely yun ang problem mo. Okay? So, let us talk about POCT. Okay, POCT naman or point of care testing. Okay? So, ginagamit ang POCT because of its rapidness. Okay? Kasi ito, bedside siya ginagawa. Okay? We don't need no fancy big machines. Okay? Kailangan lang natin a small machine wherein madadala natin siya bedside to quickly assess the patient. Okay? Pero lagi nyo tatandaan, okay, hindi porket nag-glucometer tayo, hindi na magpapa-laboratory ng serum glucose. Okay? Itong glucometer na to, yung result ng blood sugar ng glucometer is just for monitoring purposes. Okay? This cannot be used for diagnostic purposes. Okay? So say for example, before you can diagnose a patient with diabetes mellitus type 2, okay, kailangan mo kasi ng fasting blood sugar of 100 below, okay, equal to or below 126 milligrams per deciliter. Tapos kailangan mo ng HbA1c of lower than 6.4 and urine glucose of less than 160 milligrams per deciliter. Okay? So, pag na sinabi na sa glucometer na 140, naku, may diabetes ka na kasi 140 yung sugar mo. Okay, no. It doesn't work that way. Again, these POCT are used for monitoring purposes, not diagnostically. You cannot diagnose a patient out of a glucometer. Okay? So, pang-monitoring lang ito. Kasi, okay, mas accurate and precise yung nasa machine kasi ito yung kino-QC at pinipm ng mga mental. Okay? So, it matters because rapid blood glucose result agad near the patient, useful in emergency screening and diabetes monitoring and emergency screening. Okay, emergency screening. Ginagamit ito sa ER, okay, to assess kung na-hypo o hyperbase patient. Okay, kasi sa ER, mabilisan ng kilos. So, having a glucometer is really helpful, okay, kasi they can administer management agad, okay, tapos, i-confirm na lang sa laboratory kung may follow-up test pa. Okay. So, again, emergency screening. Pansinin yung word screening lang. Tapos, diabetes monitoring lang, hindi diagnosis. Okay? So, this supports fast clinical decisions and still requires correct technique and quality control. Okay? So, kinu-QC pa din yan, ha? Kahit ganyan kaliit. Okay? Okay. Ayan. POCT is fast, but accuracy depends on the technique. So, depende on the technique kasi ang tawag dito, may proper technique pa din, okay? Dapat, again, dapat hindi influence ng alcohol yung blood mo, okay? Dapat, wipe away yung first blood, okay? Yung second drop, yung kinukuha. Okay? So, ayan. A small drop of capillary blood can guide in urgent care or emergency care. Okay, so the principle is that glucose reacts with strip chemicals. Reaction produces an electrical signal, and meter converts signal into a glucose value. Okay, so the procedure is that, ayan, check the meter and strip. Okay, clean and dry the finger. Puncture the site, apply blood to the strip, and read and record the result. Okay, common errors include, ayan, expired strip. Okay, kagaya nung sa atin, okay, expired na yung strip kasi natin sa school. Hindi, sorry. Hindi pala expired yung strip natin, yung battery. Okay, so bukod sa expired strip, expired na yung battery or hindi na gumagana yung battery. Okay, so insufficient sample. Okay, pag insufficient sample naman, nag-error naman yung machine mismo. Okay, dapat isang buong drop kasi siya. Okay, so wet alcohol on finger, that's a big no-no. Okay, dirty meter, poor strip storage, okay, and operator error. Okay, so the fasting reference for blood glucose is 70 to 100 milligrams per deciliter. Okay, so let's talk about urine specimen collection. Okay, katandaan ninyo, okay, ang urine, hindi kayo ang nagko-collect ng urine. 'Di ba? Hindi mo tutusukan si patient sa putoy-toy niya at mag-extra ka ng urine. Si urine ay voluntarily binibigay ng patient. Okay? With that being said, okay, you have to check for the integrity. Okay? Kasi baka mamaya, dinuga niya. Okay? Baka dinuga niya or may ginawa siyang mali sa result kasi yung bibigay niyang sample will directly affect the result. Okay, so pag may any tampering or any wrong with or if there is something wrong with the collection procedure, okay, that will directly affect the result. Okay, so bilang medic, it is your responsibility to check the integrity first. Okay, so urine testing supports assessment of the kidney, metabolic, liver, and urinary tract conditions. Okay, napakadaming test na pwedeng gawin sa urine at napakadami neto pwedeng i-signify na mali sa ating katawan. Okay? So that is why proper collection should be observed. Okay? So proper collection prevents contamination. Okay? Correct labeling prevents specimen rejection. Prompt transport preserves urine, chemistry, and microscopy. Okay? Tapos ang urine, napakabilis mapanis. Okay? Ang viability na ito, 1 hour lang. Okay? So that's why dapat mabilis ang testing. Okay? Because urine specimen quality affects every downstream result. So, ang proper way talaga, class, okay, ang proper way talaga ng pag-collect ng specimen, lalong-lalo na kapag may urine culture, is that we advise the patient to wash the area, okay? Tapos, to pat dry or air dry the area, okay? And then collect the urine midstream. Pag sinabing midstream, yung panggit ng ihi yung sasambutin. Pero dapat hindi sila magpigil in the middle of it. Okay? Kasi yung iba ang ginagawa, iihi, tapos titigilan nila yung ihi nila, tapos ipupwesto nila yung urine ko, special container sa ilalim, tapos tsaka ulit iihi. Okay, that's wrong. The proper way is that dapat continuously, okay? Continuously yung ihi mo, tapos yung panggitna ang sasaluhin mo. Okay? Yun ang proper way. So, ayan. Common specimen types. Nasa na tayo? Wala ko. Okay, common specimen types. Random urine testing and routine screening. Okay? Random urine, there are tests that doesn't require, okay, the first morning urine. Okay? The first morning urine is the most concentrated urine of the day kasi. Okay? So there are tests that preferred yung first morning, like your urine microalbumin, okay, yung urine protein urea ratio, ano pa ba? Urine pregnancy test, okay? Hindi invalid ang random urine, pero it is more concentrated in the morning, so you get higher chances of bleeding kapag umaga ang iyong kinolect na urine. Okay? But there are tests na hindi man nag-require ito, like routine urinalysis. Okay? So, your routine urinalysis natin, okay? So, random urine would be okay. Okay? So, again, clean catch midstream, it reduces contamination. Okay? Lalong-lalo na sa ating girlies. Okay, sa ating girlies kasi, okay, we have more epithelial cells than males. Okay? So, kapag hindi midstream, yung sinambot na wiwi ng girl or ng females, nakikita namin microscopically. Okay? So, minsan nga nililibak pa namin yan sa laboratory. Ay, hindi naghugas ng kifi si mother. Okay, kasi super daming epithelial cells. Okay? If I'm being strict, okay, yung super daming epithelial cells on the microscopic analysis is a criteria for rejection. Okay, kasi considered na siyang contaminant. Okay? So, ayan, dapat talaga midstream. Okay, time collection. Okay, ito importante for quantitative testing, just like your 24-hour urine protein. Okay? So, dapat inoorasan yung start ng pag-collect at yung end ng pag-collect. Kasi dapat, pati yung volume, no? Pati yung volume ni-record. Okay, so, dapat yan time. Okay? So, for catheterized specimen naman, ayan, when sterile, tapos assisted collection is needed. Dito, hindi naman na tayo ang nag-extract dito, yung mga nurses na yan. Usually yan, pinapasa na lang sa laboratory. However, pag pinasa yan sa laboratory ng nurse, you just ask the nurse if galing po ba ito sa catheter, tapos inote mo lang doon sa request na galing siya sa catheter. Kasi sometimes may contaminant siya ng lubricant, lalo na pag bagong lagay. Okay? So, we usually ask for a second specimen kung may nakita contaminant. Okay? So, when handling, okay, use the correct, clean, or sterile container. Okay? Sterile container pag merong culture, urine culture, pero kung random urinalysis lang, okay, sterile is not necessary. Okay? Basta malinis yung container, that would be okay. Okay? So, label the urine with patient ID, date, and time. So, this is very, very, very crucial, okay? So, you as a medtech can reject specimen if it's not properly labeled. Okay? Dapat buong pangalan, date, and time. Okay? Talaga ma'am, date and time, yes. Again, as I told you, that urine is only viable for an hour. Okay? So, kailangan may time of collection because if it exceeds 1 hour, okay, panis na. Okay? So, baka tumubo na yung bacteria dyan. Mag-report tayo ng bacteria. Hindi naman pala galing sa kanya. Galing lang pala yan sa standing ng urine. Tumubo na yung mga amorphous dyan. Okay? So, it is important that it is labeled, properly labeled. Okay? Pag sinabit niya ni patient nang walang proper label, pagkaling air dyan. Okay? So, transport properly. Okay? So, yung iba kasi na patient, sa bahay pa nagko-collect, okay? Kasi, say for example, bedridden si patient, okay? Hindi kasi makatayo yung pasyente namin inirequestan ng urinalysis, okay? That's okay if, okay, madadala agad sa laboratory or proper transport temperature is observed, okay? So, dapat ref temp. Kung i-transport siya, dapat naka-ref temp. Pero, most of the time, mas maganda talaga freshly collected. Okay? So, unless tinravel nila yan safely, okay, without leaking, ayan o, pagka kasi tinatransport, usually nag-leak din. So, pag nag-leak, may pwedeng na-contaminate na rin. Okay? So, we could reject leaking, unlabeled, mislabeled, okay, or contaminated specimen. Okay? Ano pa ba yung mga ibang contaminant? Mga tawag dito, yung mga feminine powder. Hindi ko alam bakit. Parang uso yun sa matatanda sa mga mas batang patient, hindi ko ito na-encounter. Pero yung mga older patient, mga as in senior, iba sa kanila kasi parang nagpupulbo down there. Okay, so ayan. Makikita mo naman yun. Okay? So, dapat yun nire-reject. Okay? So, the key rule is that delayed urine testing can alter pH, glucose, ketones, bilirubin, cells, gas, and bacteria. Okay? So, lagi nyo tatandaan, viability is only an hour. Beyond that, reject na. Okay? So, as I told you, sa ating class. Okay? So, yung urinalysis is composed of 3 major parts. Okay? Yung 3 major parts nun is that yung physical or macro. Okay? Second is yung chemical. Okay? And third is yung micro. Okay? Pag sinabing macro, check natin yung physical properties niya. Ano bang kulay niya? Okay? Ano bang clarity niya? Okay? Malinaw ba? Turbid ba? Okay? Ano yung kanyang odor? Okay? Specific gravity and volume. Okay? So, yun yung physical or macro natin. Okay? Sa chemical naman, ayan, yun yung ginagamitan natin ng chemical strip. Yung nakikita niya sa picture. Okay? Tapos after that, okay, we process the urine, okay, so isa-centrifuge natin siya, and then we check under the microscope yung sediment. Okay, so yun na yung nire-report ng yung mga microscopic reading. Okay, so pag nakakita kayo ng urinalysis result, yan yung 3 parts na makikita ninyo sa resulta. Okay, macro, chemical, and micro. Okay, so let's talk about the physical or the macro. Okay, so ayan, observe first before chemistry and microscopy. Okay, so ano ba yung mga physical properties mo? Color. Ayan, so color may be pale yellow to amber from urochrome. Pag sinabing urochrome, this is the pigment, okay, na nagbibigay sa ating urine. Okay, it is very important that we report the color. It's because may clinical significance yung color. Okay, usually, okay, pag pale yellow or straw, yung mga mas light color na urine, okay, so it signifies body hydration. Okay, mapapansin ninyo na yung ihi ninyo is mas light kapag kayo ay dito, mas uminom ng tubig. Okay? Pag medyo dehydrated kayo or yung first morning urine niyo, mas makikita nyo na mas may color siya. Okay? First morning kasi syempre tulog kang magdamag, tulog ka buong gabi. Okay? So, hindi ka nag-water for several hours. Okay? So, nadidehydrate ng konti yung katawan natin during sleep. Okay? So, pag morning, mas papansinin nyo, mas dark yung urine. Okay? But beyond that, there are other colors pa na signify na may clinical significance. Okay? Just like red. Okay? Pag red yung color, ibig sabihin may influence ng blood. Okay? So, kunwari, lalaki naman yung patient, hindi naman nire-regla yung patient, pero red yung urine niya. Okay? So, at least may bird's eye view ka na may mini si patient. Okay? Pagka naman, kunwari, tea-colored. Okay? Pag sinabing tea-colored, kulay tsaa. Okay? Pag kulay tsaa, yung kanyang ihi, medyo assume ka na baka may liver problem si patient. Okay? So, that's why kailangan nire-report agad natin yung color. Okay? Clarity naman, okay? Clarity is being checked. Kung susunod natin yung libro, no? Dapat it is being checked on a newsprint. Okay? Kunwari, may printed paper ka at stick to the wall, and then itatapat mo doon yung test tube mo. Okay? So, dapat nakikita mo pa yung letters. Okay? Dapat nakikita mo yung letters if the urine is clear. Okay? Now, depending on how clear you see the letters on the background, doon mo i-report yung clarity. Okay? Because there are urine samples that are very turbid. Okay, pag sinabing very turbid, pag tinapat mo siya sa newsprint, hindi mo talaga kita yung letters sa ilalim. So, pagka gano'n, madami na siyang mga ectoschemelo sa kanyang urine. Okay, maaaring may presence of bacteria, maaaring presence of amorphous urites, maaaring presence ng napakadaming epithelial cells. Okay, so that is yet to be seen microscopically. But again, we still have to report the clarity para may bird's eye view. Okay? So, itong si odor, hindi siya nire-report sa resulta, pero we can note. Okay? We can note because pagdating nyo ng third year ninyo sa AUBF ninyo, there are, you will learn about the different odors that signifies some diseases. Okay? So, ayan, makikilala nyo si maple syrup urine disorder, okay? Kapag ano bang sakit, kapag talagang amoy rancid, okay? Or ayan, very aromatic or fruity, Okay? Patient that is undergoing ketoacidosis may have a fruity smell of urine. Ibig sabihin, high in ketones na yung kanyang urine. Okay? So, it's not reported, but, okay, mag-guide kayo as medtech kung ano ba, what is probably the diagnosis of this patient. Okay? So, specific gravity naman, specific gravity is measured in two ways. So, pwedeng sa strip din or pwedeng in manual ways. Okay, like using a refractometer or urinometer. Okay, so this signifies hydration and concentrating ability. Okay, so kagaya niyan, usually kapag well hydrated si katawan, lower specific gravity. Kapag medyo dehydrated si katawan, higher specific gravity. Okay, and of course, volume. Si volume, hindi siya nire-report sa urinalysis result, pero, okay, it can give you an idea, okay? It can give you an idea kung, it can give you correlation din, okay? Kasi, sa ano kasi class, sa microscopic, okay, pagdating ng third year, hindi naman tayo magtatakang ng microscopic. Yeah, okay. Pero pagdating ng third year, makikilala niyo yung mga different cast, okay? Pag sinabing cast, okay, ito yung mga lumalabas lang kapag talagang medyo watak na talaga yung kidney mo. Okay? So, pagka kasi malala na yung renal damage, okay, your ability to produce urine becomes less and less, okay? So, makikita ninyo yung mga dialysis patient, okay? Kapag talagang nakamiss yan sila ng dialysis session nila, talagang wala na yan silang maihi, okay? So, magtataka, when I say correlation, you can use volume for correlation. Pero si patient, nakaihi naman ng 60 ml, okay, napuno naman niya yung 60 ml, tapos sa macroscopic, may nakikita kang parang itsurang waxy cast. Okay? So, that's impossible. Okay? Wax cast kasi is a marker of like severe kidney damage. Okay? So, hindi yun nakikita sa mga patient na nakakaihi pa ng madami. Okay? Pag may waxy cast, talagang patak-patak na lang yung ihi niya. Okay? So, what I'm telling you is that sometimes you can correlate the volume with the microscopic reading. Okay? So, ayan, common parameters, okay, ng reagent strip, ayan, pH, specific gravity, protein, glucose, ketones, blood, bilirubin, urobilinogen, nitrite, and leukocyte esterase, okay. So, the procedure is that we should homogenize the urine first. Pag sinabing homogenize, okay, halo-haloin, okay, because sometimes may mga analytes tayo sa urine na nagsasabaw sa bottom, okay. So, kapag itatest na natin siya, haluin ng konti. Okay? So, deep briefly and remove excess. Okay? And hold strip horizontally. Pag sinabing horizontally yan. Horizontally, vertically. Dapat i-hold mo siya horizontally because, okay, it is important that we deep briefly and remove the excess and hold it horizontally kasi meron tayong tinatawag na carry over na contamination from one pad to another. Okay? So, ayan, kagaya nga ng sabi ko sa inyo before, when testing for urine glucose, reagent strip, urine reagent strip, okay, number one, dapat hindi ka colorblind. Okay? Dapat hindi ka colorblind kasi we are dealing with colors, okay? So, mga photochromics, ito mga to. So, colors siya. So, kaya ba walang colorblind sa medtech, okay? Kasi marami tayong gine-grade based sa color. Okay? So, number one, ito yan. Okay? So, number one, dapat hindi ka colorblind. Okay? Number two, okay, colorblind pero may correction glasses. Okay? So, number two, dapat you are in a well-lit area. Okay? Hindi ka pwede magbasa ng urine reagent strip sa dilim. Okay? So, dapat bukas ang ilaw or well-ventilated, well-lit yung area. Okay? So, third is that kaya tayo nagdi-deep briefly, remove excess, and hold strip horizontally. It's because, okay, nakikita niyo yung mga colors na yan sa reagent strip natin. Okay, iba-iba kasi yung color niya. Sometimes, nag-bleed yung color onto the next strip. Okay? So, pagka ganon, okay, nai-influence nung one strip yung color nung other. Okay? Which is, maging falsely either increase or decrease na yung reporting mo. Kasi nga, influenced siya by color. Again, we are grading this entirely by color. Okay? So, dapat, saglit na sausawan lang. Okay, you remove the excess using tissue or gauze, and then you hold strip horizontally para hindi na sila maghawa-hawa ng kulay. Okay? Tapos, okay, you read each pad at the correct time. Okay? Dapat, correct timing. Okay, ang pinakamahaba dyan lagi yung nasa dulo, si leukocyte esterase, 120 seconds. Okay. So, may kanya-kanyang oras naman. Hindi ko na yung isa-isa. Hindi naman yung sa exam. Okay. So, ayan. Patterns matter more than isolated colors. Okay? So, ayan. Glucose and ketones. Okay, maaari. Okay. Pag positive sa glucose, positive pa sa ketones. Ayan. Nagkiketosis. Maaari nagkiketosis na si patient. Okay? So, i-report yun agad. Okay? Protein and blood. Possible renal or glomerular involvement. Okay? Kasi, ibig sabihin, dapat kasi talaga walang presence of protein, okay, sa urine. Pag may protein na, may blood pa, ayan, magsuspetsyo ka na meron siyang renal involvement or glomerular involvement or yung pamamaraan ng pagsala, may celtic na, okay. So, nitrite and LE or leukocyte esterase, and suggestive of UTI, okay. Nitrite kasi, class, is a byproduct ng, okay, byproduct ng bacteria na nako-convert si nitrate to nitrite. Okay, so pag na-convert na from nitrate to nitrite, okay, ibig sabihin, madami ka ng bacteria sa urine. Partneran mo pa ng positive na leukocyte esterase. Pag sinabi positive si leukocyte esterase, madami ka ng WBC. Okay? So, ayan na, umaatake na yung WBC mo to protect, okay, yourself. Okay, naatake na nila yung mga bacteria sa urine. Okay, so suggestive of UTI. Okay, bilirubin positive, possible liver or biliary disease. Okay, and this is the reason why pala kung bakit sa upper bottles yung ating urine strip container kasi photosensitive siya because of the bilirubin. Okay, kaya sa dapat protected from light yung ating mga urine strip. Okay, dapat hindi yan iniiwang bukas parate kasi naiilawan. Pag naiilawan, na degrade si bilirubin. Okay? High specific gravity, ayan. Very concentrated na urine or dehydrated. Okay? So, common error includes an expired ang strip, ayan, bukas ang bote, may moisture, reading too early, reading too late, run over contamination, old specimen, and light exposure. So, ayan. To sum up, so, again, so, ang finals natin cover to cover, ha, pero ito yung finals na part lang. Okay, kayo na bahala mag-review from the doon sa part ng prelim and midterms. Okay? So, ayan. Different tests, same rule. Technique protects accuracy. Okay, so, again, si bleeding time. Okay, anong ina-assess niya? Platelet, capillary, primary hemostasis. Okay, si coagulation time, ano ina-assess niya? Clotting factors mo, fibrin mo, secondary hemostasis. Okay? Si glucometer, okay, for capillary glucose, point of care testing and used for emergency or urgent care and monitoring purposes. Okay? So, ayan, POCT decision making. Urine collection, okay? Specimen integrity, it's very important kasi again, hindi ikaw ang nag-extract niyan. Okay? Hindi mo yung sinisiringe sa putoy-toy nila. Okay? So, yun yung voluntary sinasubmit. You have to check the specimen integrity for the reliable results of urine analysis or other urine tests. Okay? So, reagent strip, ayan, chemical screening, it can give you a clinical cue. Okay? So, small procedures can create major clinical decisions. Okay? So, ayan. So, quick check. Okay, ito. Pwede nyo itong i-screenshot. Okay? Kailangan masagot nyo to. So, pag nasasagot nyo to, ready na kayo sa exam. Ayan. So, which test assess primary hemostasis? Okay? Which test focuses on fibrin clot formation? Pang anong hemostasis ba yan? Okay? Why should urine be tested promptly? What paired findings suggest UTI on reagentship, and what is the most common glucometer error students commit? Okay? So, ayan. Pag nasagot niyo yan, we're ready na kayo for the exam. So, ayan. Accuracy begins before the analyzer. So, your collection, your timing, handling, and interpretation will determine how reliable your result will be. Okay? So, that is the end of our Sanib Puersa. Do you have any questions? Okay, I'm giving an open floor to questions if you have any. So, if wala, I have posted an attendance link, okay, a Google form link on the chat box, okay? Kindly answer that, okay? If ma-answer nyo yan, okay, pwede nang mag-leave ng meeting. Okay, or if nahihiyang magtanong, okay, pwede namang magtanong sa chat box or i-message ako, okay? So that ends our Sanib Puersa. Thank you so much, everyone. Please do not forget to answer, okay, ayan, ipipin ko. Please don't forget to answer the attendance link.